It started on a storm-racked Thursday evening when the rain had turned the streets of Caligar into veins of black water. The wind, a restless spirit, moaned through the skeletal branches of banyan trees, their bare limbs scratching at the leaden sky. The city was weary. For a week, it had wrestled with floods, each deluge bringing fresh landslides and power cuts. Most people seemed too tired to care about one more problem, a missing person, a statistic drowned out by the rain. But for Detective Aryan Malik, a man who had stared into the eyes of killers and come back colder, this was different. He stood in front of Mira Roy's apartment, his face half shadowed by the umbrella he held. The missing woman wasn't just another name on a file, a face in a crowd, a victim to be mourned and forgotten. She was Mira Roy, a 29-year-old school teacher known for her quiet demeanor, her lavender Curtis, her habit of carrying a spare umbrella, her love for cats, and most of all, her clockwork routines. She left her house at exactly 8 a.m. every morning, took the same bus to school, had lunch with her colleagues at precisely 1 p.m., and was back home by 3:47 p.m. That's when she'd locked her office for the day, waved goodbye to her colleague, stepped into her blue hatchback, and was never seen again. No CCTV trail, no phone signal, and no trace of her car in any traffic cam. It was as if she'd evaporated from the earth. Her disappearance had made headlines, but the police, bogged down by the floods, had classified it as a missing persons, a job for a rainy day. But Aryan was different. As he looked up at the rain-streaked windows of Mira's apartment, he could see the reflection of a life suspended. On Tuesday, the curtains were drawn, the sofa still holding its shape, the television blank, the dining table set for two. By Thursday, the curtains remained, but the table was cleared, the chairs pushed in, the television off, the windows reflecting a vacant room. And today, Sunday, the curtains were open, letting in the rain, the table was empty, the chairs were overturned, the television was gone, and the windows reflected a life half-lived. He walked into the apartment, and the first thing he noticed was the smell, the musky aroma of old books, cinnamon, and a faint hint of chlorine, a scent he'd come to associate with her. He ran a hand over the back of a chair, then opened the refrigerator. It was half-stocked with leftovers and condiments, a testament to a routine that had been cut short. The calendar on the wall was open to the next month, the date circled in red, the plan for a weekend movie night. On the kitchen counter sat a half-eaten apple, browned with time, which meant she'd returned home after school and then something happened. But what? He found no signs of forced entry, no struggle, no blood, no fingerprints that weren't already cataloged, just the eerie silence of a life interrupted. In the living room, he picked up her diary, its pages filled with neat handwriting, nothing out of the ordinary, no threats, no arguments, no enemies. But on one page, he found a short line scribbled in the corner. It read, "He's watching me again." No context, no name, just that one sentence like a whisper behind glass. Aryan closed the book, the rain outside now sounding more like a warning than weather. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was a private number with no caller ID. He answered. "Hello," he said, his voice a low rumble. Silence. Then he heard a faint mechanical voice. "You're too late already." And the line went dead. He stared at the phone, the words echoing in his head. Too late already. Was it a prank? A sick joke? Or was someone toying with him, reveling in the fact that they were one step ahead? Aryan knew better than to ignore such calls. They might seem like nothing more than the ramblings of a bored mind. But in the intricate game of cat and mouse that was his world, every clue, no matter how small, was a piece of a puzzle, a potential thread to unravel a mystery.